So, Rachel, how would you
Yeah.
like to play Three Question Thursday?
I would love to.
Okay, Three Question Thursday. And I have to ask you, you said you like putting spices together.
Hmm.
Is there any combo that you favor? And you also said you're allergic to cinnamon.
I am.
So I was
So,
wondering what you do.
so, for example, I really like pumpkin pie spice, but I can't eat it. So I make my own with just slightly different combinations of spices. So I'll use like ginger and nutmeg and allspice. And then sometimes a little bit of clove, and that combination kind of gives me the feeling of cinnamon because I haven't always been allergic. I can thank my children for that. After my pregnancies is when I started becoming allergic to tree nuts. And so before that, cinnamon would kind of, every once in a while, I'd have an issue with it. And then afterwards, when I was becoming allergic to tree nuts, is when I pretty consistently would have reactions when I would eat them. And so it kind of, the making my own spices was the mother of necessity because a lot of spice flavors that I like Middle Eastern spices and things like that, have cinnamon in them. So I make like my own version of like garam masala and things like that. And I have to just make sure I take the cinnamon out of it. And so I still get the hint of the flavor, but it doesn't have, the things I can't have in there.
Oh, that is really interesting. And I know that you have a special meal that your husband and you like.
We do. We have
What
our
is that?
breakfast. We have Saturday morning breakfast is what it's called. And my husband actually, when I first told him about it, was like, I don't know, but now it's his favorite. Like if we don't have it, he's like, wait, where's our Saturday morning breakfast? And he'll be all sad. But so what it is because potatoes are compliant, so we take two, oh my gosh, my mind's blanking out, two hash brown patties, and we make them as like sandwich bread. And so we'll take an egg and cook it however we want. And then we'll put an egg and a slice of cheese in between the two hash brown patties. And that's like our morning breakfast, like not my food. And so that's one of the things that, like, I don't know, we just kind of like it. It's our routine now. Like, and if we don't have it, my husband like misses it. And he's like, when we had guests here for Thanksgiving, he's like, but wait, it's Saturday. And I was like, well, does everybody want this? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And so I made it for everybody. And the whole household had a BLE breakfast with us in the morning.
And so you eat it like a sandwich.
Yeah, you just pick it up like a sandwich and eat it because the hash brown patties are, and we get the pre-cooked kind just because I'm way too tired in the mornings to make my own. Because as my kids say, mom sleeps really good. That's one of her superpowers. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So I like fast and easy things. So we would do those in the air fryer is what we use, or you can do them in the oven or whatever. And you just use them as your, like, for lack of a better term, your bread.
That's going to be great.
It's good. And then you just have fruit on the side, whatever fruit you want. And it's just a fun kind of tradition that we started, and it's really good.
And it doesn't have to be not my food or sweets or whatever. Tradition is tradition.
Right.
One more question. Question number 3. For all the marbles, all the money. What would you say to the Rachel of that day when you got started?
That's a good question. You're stronger than you know. I would tell her you're stronger than you know. Just thinking back over all of the things that have happened just this year alone, not including COVID and everything else. You're stronger than you know. Like I was sharing with you, my whole family caught COVID a couple of weeks ago, and we were all sick, and I couldn't taste anything. And so I just decided to eat whatever. And I very quickly realized like I wasn't eating enough protein, and my body kind of like freaked out about it. And it really became one of those things of when I was sick, like measuring and weighing my foods, even though I couldn't taste them, was kind of like my saving grace. And it allowed me to be strong and to get healthy, I think faster, so that I could help my other family members who were a lot sicker than I was.
Well,
and so,
and I'm thinking, like, as you're saying this, that you said you had all this meal prep and you showed me a picture of the freezer.
yeah,
That had to help too.
it did. Yeah, it did help. And it's kind of funny. I grossed my husband out because I couldn't taste anything. And so at that point, I was like, I have all the little pieces of leftover things that I saved in containers in my refrigerator. So I just put them all together in one meal to eat them because I couldn't taste them. And they all were like the amounts that I needed. And he was like, that's gross.
That is
like,
hilarious.
I was like, but it's food and it makes me feel good even if I can't taste it. I'm like, and because I can't taste it, I'm eating them all together.
That is just so funny, but it's so true. It's the hodgepodge of peace in your mind, and it works. Yeah. And you know how to split your protein, so you know you got the numbers right.
All those little pieces add up together, and I think that just really helped me, especially during that time, because my dad and my sister were really sick, like really sick. And I was the one that was well enough, even though I wasn't 100% better myself, but I was well enough to shuttle them to and from emergency rooms and go and get, when I was better, go and get medicine and stuff for them. So, I think that's one of the things, like, you're stronger than is something that I would tell myself. Like, I had to deal with a lot, like healing my brain from the concussion and dealing with stuff at work that I would have never thought in a million years I'd have to do by myself. And,
and dealing with technology and everything that you had to do with COVID, and
learning how to Zoom and everything. And it was wild, it's been a wild couple of years.
Wow, Rachel, you're amazing. And thank you so much for coming on Starting Out Bright.
Of course.
And thank you for playing 3-Question Thursday. It's been a delight. And I hope that we'll stay in touch. So good night, everybody. Stay bright.
Good night.